What's up, y'all? Big Snoop D-O double G.
Hey guys, welcome to Chase After the Right Price. This is my game room and it is finally finished. And we're gonna do the most requested video that we've had, the game room tour. Let's do it. All right, so this is the game room, and back here is one of my favorite sections because this really highlights everything, a good bit of everything that we do. And that includes vintage sports cards, unopened sports cards, video games, and then Pokemon cards, and of course retro video games, and that one is even sealed and graded by Wata. So that's kind of a lot of stuff that we do in reselling and that I do, and I just love that this kind of shows that. And this is something that will probably change a lot because as I change and as the business changes, this is one of those things that I want to adapt with that. So this video, in addition to, actually we've received tons of requests for an inventory and a workstation kind of setup video. So that one's actually over on Patreon. So if you're interested in that, make sure to check out Patreon. So basically every station that we have out there in order to run the business effectively and efficiently, and all the processes and things that we put into that, you can check that out in an exclusive video on Patreon. But let's get right into the game room, starting over there. So this game room has been a long time coming. I've actually moved into this house about a year ago, and finally the game room is officially done. We haven't spent a ton of time on it, but we have had a few trial and errors of getting this thing figured out. I mean, Brother Dave and I were in here setting up this backdrop and some of the shelves over there, and then months later Skylar and I were like, we just got to get this thing done. We set up the shelf back there, but man, we ran into some issues. Literally the shelf fell on us. Put too much weight. Don't put every WiiU on one hanging wall shelf. Even though it was just fully studded and anchored, it didn't work. So we put 3DSs over there now, and it's looking great, and I'm very excited that it's all done. We actually had a nerd night, is what I call it, in here yesterday. Played some Smash Bros. And Gamecube on the retro Sony Trinitron. But yeah, this is the WiiU section. So this is one of the few sections that I actually casually, not intensely, have been working on completing. And I mainly did that when WiiU was getting discontinued and clearanced out at like Toys R Us and places like that. So I was able to get a lot of sealed games for like 10 bucks or less. And I think there's 200 something titles on WiiU. I probably have in the low hundreds, so I might be about halfway there. Actually, a lot of them are off for grading right now for Wata because I took out a lot of the sealed games. But there's still a bunch of cool games, including like Game & Wario up at the top, Funky Barn, Hello Kitty Cruisers, the ever elusive. So those are up at the top. And then this one's kind of cool, Rodea Sky Soldier, the special edition, with the Key of Time. So WiiU, good stuff there. And then on down you've got the special editions for WiiU. So this Zelda one is probably my favorite, the Zelda Twilight Princess HD. And then of course the Switch games up there. And most of those cartridges aren't in there because I keep them in my case and play most of them. But then on down we've got Wii. And this is one of my favorite games from this section. So Dokapon Kingdom, it's one of the most rare and valuable games on Wii. And I actually found this one in the wild, and I have a clip of it. It was marked at $1, and that was a really, really good deal. So that one is pretty awesome. I love having games that kind of tell a story like that. More games that kind of tell stories of the glory days of disc traders. My local game store here, so I left the price stickers on them. $11.99 for Mega Man Star Force 3 Black Ace complete. That's crazy. This game has got to be in the 100 plus category. Shout out to the $100 plus games list. That one would be on there. Same with this one. This one would be close. Mega Man Star Force 2 Zerker X Saurian for $7.99. Absolutely crazy. Even at that time, those were insane deals. And that's the deals. That's the kind of deals that used to be at disc traders. So I love keeping those around. And then down here we've got two very unique games. Knuckles Chaotix and Calibri for 32X, and these were actually part of probably my favorite trade of all time that Thane actually set up when we were on a road trip at the World's Longest Garage Sale last year in Columbus, Ohio, and we made a crazy trade which included these guys and like a Sega CD system, 32X system, and a bunch of other stuff, all for a Nintendo Switch. It was amazing. The guy just had this stuff out in a barn and didn't care about it at all, and we certainly did. So we made a trade happen there, and those are pretty awesome. Another couple that were at a garage sale years ago for $5 a piece, the Spiral Collector's Edition and the Crash Bandicoot Collector's Edition. Those are pretty cool and definitely fun to have in the collection. And then we've got PS2 on the bottom, got the collector's packs, you know, some big titles like Def Jam Fight for New York, a couple long box PS1 games, and then Blu-rays and miscellaneous on the bottom. And that is it for this shelf. Let's move on to the next areas. All right, and we've already kind of highlighted this section here, but I do want to tell a little bit of a story. So this is the 1954 Topps LK Line rookie card. It's graded a PSA 6, and that is that probably is my favorite card. Very sentimental. So my dad's favorite baseball player was LK Line, and I kind of made it a task to complete the LK Line collection, topped with a beautiful rookie card, kind of in memory, in honor of him. He died when I was 7 in 2001, but he's actually part of the reason that I have the thrill to find. And cards like that are just cool things to keep around in the collection, and I'm very, very proud of that one. And then over here, the top right, Pokemon Yellow, graded a 9.0 by Wata. It is sealed. That's just kind of a memory. So one of my original Wata shipment games, I sent off 6, sold the other 5, and kept that one. That one is, I had it for 10, 15 years, probably bought it on eBay for like $200 and just had it laying around in the collection. Obviously that was an insane deal, and all of the sealed games I bought back then were insane deals because that craze has gone wild. So that's just kind of a cool memory to keep around for the sealed games that I once had and still have in this case. And then back here in the efficiently made corner section, we have the Game Boy, starting from oldest with the original Game Boy minty fresh box to newer, which you got Game Boy Pocket, most of them, including a Game Boy Light, which is Japanese, backlit, ahead of its time. Couple Game Boy Colors, couple in the box, and then the Pokemon ones outside of the box. Game Boy Advances, all of these are special editions with the Target version, the Toys R Us version, and the Pokemon version. And then those are the same one in the box. And then the SPs, my favorite handheld of all time, other than the Switch. But these are beautiful systems, love having those. And then those are a garage sale story. So Donkey Kong Jr. and Epoch Man. Mostly the Donkey Kong Jr. is the cool part there, and I think they were like $1 a piece. And those are original Game & Watches, and just super, super cool. So keeping those around, definitely love having those in the collection. Now let's go on to the N64 and Switch shelves. All right, so now we're on to a couple of my favorite shelves in the collection. These are top 2 of 3 for my favorite things to collect as far as systems go. So before I go into them, let me know down below what's your guys' favorite system to collect for and why. I'll get into that in the end. These are number 2 and 3 for me. Number 1 is over there. But yeah, so N64. I absolutely love the fantastic N64 systems. So I have some of those up here, and that's one of the things that needs to be completed in the game room is I have the loose systems, every single one of them, and I need a place. So I have to order a shelf and get that figured out. But for now, this is what we're working with. So got a bunch of in-box controllers up top. Fairly recent addition, the Donkey Kong 64 set in the top left, and I put the DK64 Nintendo Power controller by it. Got the Smoke Gray complete in box, and perhaps my favorite box for the N64, the Pokemon Stadium Battle Set, and that does still have the Pokemon card and everything inside. And then the Jungle Green in the box, and of course the Grape on the right side in the box. Can't go wrong with N64 stuff. Also got the Pikachu N64, which is one of my favorites. The gold in the blister pack controller. And then this was the original set that me and Quinn got for Christmas. So the one with 2 controllers. Gotta have 2 controllers for the brothers. And we absolutely loved N64. Grew up on Mario 64, Mario Party 1, 2, and 3, Smash Bros. All-time classics. Gotta love them. And then Switch is becoming my favorite system of all time. And I eventually want to work at getting all of the Joy-Cons, all of the consoles, every single iteration. And I love that they're region-free. So any Joy-Cons from anywhere you can use on your Switch. Same with any games, any system. I love the region-free. I wish they did that all the time. So a couple recent additions. We got the Fortnite controllers, and then these are my favorite Joy-Cons ever, the Skyward Sword Joy-Cons. And then kind of out of place, right in the middle, is Earthbound. This guy is complete with the guidebook and everything, with the scratch and sniff stickers. And this is one of my favorite stories. I traded 5 bins of trade-in junk and ended up getting about $800 of trade-in and covered fully the cost of this Earthbound from a game store. So basically got that for free. And it's one of my favorite pieces in the collection. It was definitely a fun day getting that one. And then over here, Gamecube, my favorite system to collect for. I like collecting the games the most, but the systems are still really cool. So you got the Mario Party 7 bonus set. That's a super awesome box. And then the Mario Sunshine bundle. And these have the games and the systems inside. The Indigo. And then the Smash bundle set. Cool box there. And then another version of the Smash box with the sticker. And then regular Platinum. So that's the GameCube section. And now we're going to move on to the somewhat random but somewhat organized section in the corner here. All right, so this is my newer game room. I had actually a little bit more room in the previous house, but we dedicated a lot more room to the business in this one. So this is an example of limited space and just figuring it out. So the top row actually looks pretty good. So we got all NESs. There's 6 complete in-box NESs, all of them slightly different. The Rob the Robot sets are different versions of the box. So those are looking pretty good, pretty cool up there. And then this is maybe one of the most rare things in my collection, the Panasonic Q, which is a Japanese, and it actually plays DVDs and GameCube. So that is fascinating. It's complete, has everything in there, it works well. Awesome, awesome piece. Then you got I love this box, the Donkey Kong Super Nintendo set. And there is a Super Nintendo behind that in the box too, but that's kind of hidden. And then got a couple WiiU, the Smash Splat Deluxe set. I believe we have one on display up there, but that's my favorite box of all time. As for consoles, I love that box. It is beautiful. The colors are awesome. So I have 2 of them because it's beautiful. And then we've got good old Zapper, the classic systems, more SNESs, random. Got the Virtual Boy, the Nomad. Got this Nomad for, let's see if the sticker's still on it, $20 at a garage sale. Gotta love that. And the garage sales I got it on are actually next week. So like annual garage sale. So hopefully I'll find something like that again. And then we got PlayStations, some of the DS handhelds. And in the bottom right, we got the Sega section. So those aren't as near and dear to my heart, so they get the bottom right slot. No offense to Sega people, but it's just not what I grew up with. But now, we're going to go to the 3DS and WiiU shelf. So this was the last shelf to go up in the collection and finally completed the room. And it came together pretty nice. So we ended up putting all of the 3DSs up there. And I've rotated through quite a lot of 3DSs and 2DSs through the years. This is what remains in the collection, and it's a pretty cool, I love the SNES one here. That might be my favorite of what I have up there. But then of course you've got the Splatoon Smash box, all the WiiUs, nearly every one except I don't have the Zelda one in the box. So that would be one that I am looking for to complete that. And now we're going to go over to my favorite shelf, which includes GameCube, SNES, and N64. So a quick shout out, me and Thane were actually playing a little bit of NFL Street 2, NHL Hits 2003 on the GameCube yesterday. Because I had the GameCube component cable, original Nintendo brand. Very expensive, very rare. That one is actually on the accessories list that I released for patrons. Tons of accessories, and that's one that a lot of people don't know about, and it's worth like $300. So if you're interested in that list, make sure to check that out over on Patreon. But man, that thing is worth 300 bucks for a reason, but you need to have a TV like this. And honestly, the Sony Trinitron like flat tube TVs are the way to go. And this is, you can find them at garage sales and Goodwill pretty frequently. So if you don't have one for retro gaming, I definitely recommend it. The GameCube was looking beautiful, maxed out. Like that's just about as good as a GameCube would look outside of like a studio tube TV, which I don't have but would love to get. But I'm very content with this setup here. Okay, but let's go over to NES. So NES is at the very top, and I actually consolidated my NES collection a good bit. But I did keep a few cool things, including DuckTales 2 complete in the box. This was another one I traded, like 3 bins of trade-in for. Traded up to get this. We made a video about that, and that's in really pretty good shape. So love having that one. And then we got SNES starting up here. So Pocky and Rocky 2. It's actually quite a rare game, but also a very fun game that I have beaten. So that was one of the first games I added to the collection. You know, it might have been $100 at the time I got it, and I know it's probably a few hundred now just for the cartridge. So look out for Pocky and Rocky 1 and 2. Fun games and valuable. It's the best of both worlds. I love games like that, and that is one of them. Okay, and then on down, we've got some complete in box SNES games. We've got Ogre Battle here. That's a pretty cool one. There's Mega Man 7. Those are just collector's cases, so not technically complete. Of course, Chrono Trigger, complete in box. On down the line, Mega Man X3. So this is cartridge only, but this one I actually got in episode 1 of Chase After the Right Price. This was one I didn't realize was in the bundle initially and made an offer. And then once I saw this one was in there, I went back and gave the seller more money. So I feel like that was a good way to start the channel. And we were very, very excited about that one. And that's a fun game too. Then on down, you've got more SNES stuff. So you can see Pocky and Rocky 1 is there. And a bunch of nice cartridges. Ninja Gaiden Trilogy. All sorts of stuff. It's kind of hard to pick out anything. I try to keep the collection to either quality or something that I would play. I'm pretty picky with that at this point. I'm not a completionist. I like to just collect stuff that I like or that has value, because to me that's the fun way that I enjoy collecting. Pokemon Stadium 2, we definitely get a lot of use out of this one, playing the battles and the mini games. So that's definitely a fun one to have. More complete N64 stuff. There's the elusive Mario 64. Actually, one of the most common games on 64. But apparently can sell for $1.5 million in a Wata 9.8, which is wild. And then more N64 down here. A lot of collector's cases. Good stuff there. Snowboard Kids complete. That's pretty cool. And then on down to my favorite section, the GameCube. I actually have a few things that I need to add to this section that we recently bought. But one of the cool ones and rare ones is Go-Go Hyper Grind. So definitely be on the lookout for that one. If you ever see it out in the wild, you gotta buy it. But really, if you see GameCube stuff for cheap, you gotta buy it no matter what. This was a recent addition, the Zelda 4 Swords with the big box, and it is beautiful condition-wise. And then let's see, NHL Hits 2003 and NFL Street 2. These are ones that get played frequently. They're just so much fun. I love the Midway and EA Sports Big sports games. I really wish they would bring them back. Because those were beautiful and they came out in like 2004 and still get played in this glorious nerd room. Another recent addition is the Ultimate Muscle. So that one's pretty cool and actually pretty fun. And that is the GameCube section. So we also play Mario Party 7 quite a lot. My favorite Mario Party out of all of them. Let me know what your favorite Mario Party is. I'm actually quite curious what you guys have to say about that. But then we've got the GBA complete games at the bottom here, and I'm kind of working on recollecting some of the complete Pokemons. I had a lot of them sealed, but I now don't, so I had gotten rid of the complete versions. and I'd love to work on re-completing all of the Pokemon Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color games. So that is something to work on, and it's cool that I actually have a little bit of shelf room, so I got room to grow a little bit with the games. Well, I don't really have any room to grow with the consoles, but you can't forget the controller drawers. So all of these hopefully are first party and somewhat organized by system, but they do get a little bit sloppy as we play stuff. So there you go. That is everything. So if you were somebody that has been waiting for this video, please hit that like button. I would really appreciate it. It definitely helps. And remember to let me know what your favorite system to collect for is and why. Mine, definitely the GameCube, as I mentioned. But that's gonna be it for this one. I really appreciate you guys watching. Stay tuned, we got a bunch more videos coming. Garage sales, reselling, all sorts of good stuff. So hit that subscribe button and the bell. Until next time, peace.